Listen here, movie. If we get to an icy lake and Kate Winslet kicks Idris Elba off the dock because she doesn't think there's room enough for both of them, we're gonna have words.
Pilot. He didn't file a flight plan.
No, but it was radio contact.
How long's it been?
36 hours. We've got plenty of water as long as we can melt the snow. Got 4 packets of almonds, a couple of candy bars, half-eaten sandwich, and some cookies.
The Mountain Between Us stars Kate Winslet and Idris Elba as a couple of human beings who get trapped on a mountain and have to find their way down, as well as find out what those feelings are for each other that they have. It's romance, it's tragedy, it's all of the above, it's maybe none of the above. Let's take a look at 5 things you might want to know about The Mountain Between Us. This isn't a great movie. I mean, I don't hate it, but as the movie optimist, let's look at the good stuff first. These performances are great. Kate Winslet, Idris Elba, they're just good actors, and it doesn't matter the material you put them in, they're going to elevate it. I think this could have been a pretty horrible movie with 2 other people, but because it's them, they add this authenticity to a movie that doesn't have much otherwise. So I found myself believing Kate Winslet's character, believing Idris Elba's character, believing the relationship that they were dealing with together. And because I was able to believe all that, the movie was probably even better than it could have been. The other thing I liked about the movie were the visuals. I think it's gorgeous. Amongst all that snow and ice, it still managed to be really beautiful. Not only that, I thought they did a good job with the effects when you're dealing with a plane crash. We've seen that before in many different ways, and yet they managed to keep it compelling and intense and interesting. And in some of the other effects and some of the things they were doing, I found those compelling. There was something beautiful to look at on the screen, especially as you're dealing with that idea of survival and that idea of the tragedy that has happened between those two. I think those visuals informed it in a really beautiful way. But here's the thing, and this is the crux of why I ended up not liking the movie, I think. But we'll give it a yellow because it might not matter to you. This is 2 different movies. There are 2 things going on here, one of which I was kind of into, which is the kind of the survival aspect of what's going on with him. The other of which was this really melodramatic romance between these 2 people, really over the top. I mean, if you've seen a Nicholas Sparks movie, that's a lot of what that section of this film reminded me of. So I'm sitting here watching this cool survival, I'm thinking Everest, all these kind of survival things, and then this other movie starts happening. I'm like, oh, is this the movie that you want to be? Because if this is the movie that you want to be, I'm not sure I'm down for it. And I think part of that has to do with the other yellow I will give here, because again, maybe it won't bother you. But I think a lot of that has to do with we're not dealing with a true story here. This isn't some sort of true survival story. So because of that, when I look at the melodramatic relationship romance stuff, it doesn't feel authentic. It all feels made up. When I look at the stuff that's happening even in the survival aspect of it, I'm going, you know what? You're just making all this up. So the weird, strange things that happen, I'm just kind of disconnected from. Because yeah, I know you got to tell a story, and it just feels so false to me because it is. It never happened. But that inauthenticity is only part of the reason I didn't really connect with the movie. A lot of it has to do with these characters. Now, as I mentioned, the performances are great. And when I did connect to the characters, it was because Kate and Idris allowed me to, just through their performances. But the way the character's written really isn't that deep. Yes, there's a little bit of backstory, but it doesn't give us the information we need to truly understand what this movie is saying, what the themes are, what these people, the decisions they're making, why are they making them? The movie feels a little empty in that way, and so overall it left me empty as well. Overall, I feel like The Mountain Between Us could have been a really good film. Great performances, great actors, really beautiful, just not a lot to connect me to the story, so much so I gave it a C+. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, though, let's connect further. Hit me up on Twitter. It's Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. We can connect there. Also, the podcast is SiftPop, SiftPop, whatever podcast player you use. Feel free to look it up there. And subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff here on YouTube as well. Heading up towards that next subscriber level, and I'd appreciate you giving a sub. Thank you for doing that. Also, thank you for supporting, sending money my way. It's been incredible this last week. Several new people coming on board saying, you know what, I can do $3 a month. Some of them doing more. It means a lot to me that you would believe in these videos enough to go, keep making them, and here's $3 every month to do it. So if you'd be interested in that, there's some fun perks that go along with it too. It is at patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. And thank you so much for doing that. All right, on to the best ever challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. Let's go with the best ever movie featuring a mountain. So a mountain plays into it in some way. Makes sense for this one. I'm going to have to go with the one where the title literally creates living hills. Living hills, I say. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point. Leave a choice there as well. I'd love to see it. And as always, here's a few extra seconds. To hit subscribe, just click my face.